Hello, this is KRBrickBot, and I decided to splurge on a really premium looking special release product. Helloka봇 Gold Edition Jetren from the Golden Force subline. Yeah, so I guess at the later end of 2021, Toyline decided just to release 5 pre-existing figures in brand new golden color schemes and upcharge the vacuum metallized plastic. I mean, just 3 cruiser redecos, a Pentastorm, and a Jetren. I mean, that's a little... 4 pretty big expensive ones and 1 relatively less expensive one compared to the rest, since this is just a single, so I just got this one. Yeah, so it's a closed packaging art, showing the pretty shinily rendered robot mode and vehicle mode, and a little bit of gold in the background and some more white graphics here. The word mark is the exact same as the Season 3 Jetren when he first appeared, including "From the Future," shiny gold there. It looks like he uses the same number code, just with an extra gold suffix on it. I never paid quite much attention to these until now. The back of the box looks like a blueprint with the English names right on there, and a little bio. Top of the box, side of the box is the same as the other side of the box. Bottom of the box, Bailu J-May Toys Co. And the release date is actually just separately printed on here. From September. There's the instructions, slightly folded there. Also wrapped in tissue paper. Yep, the companies are really liking tissue paper nowadays, whether that makes sense or not. Well, no, maybe it might make sense because, oh, look at that shininess, and there's already some blemish on the shininess. Eh. It's a redeco of the main Jetren toy in shiny gold. Now, it might be slightly disappointing it's not all vacuum metallized plastic. There are a few big chunks that are just a pearl gold color, with a little bit of a swirliness to it. It's pretty like Lego's quality gold. I'm sure it's not gonna crack easily. But yeah, but look at that really reflective vacuum metallized golden sheen where it does have it. It's on like the sides of the door and all of the top hood, not on the front hood. And the bottom, which you might argue probably is not the ideal place to put chrome, since that's the underside. That's where all the stuff would scrape under. But with the layout and vehicle mode, it does look pretty cohesive, like the upper half of the car is just the pearl gold, while the rest of the hood and the lower half is just, it halves into the shiny chrome. Yeah, I guess preferably I would have liked for this to be on the top, so you can have a shiny top, but then these parts would have to be also shiny chrome, which would up the parts count. From what I can count, there are exactly 7 chromed pieces, and I guess that's the best they could afford to do on a budget, kind of like the Golden Lagoon style. You know, it has the pearl gold and the chrome gold mixed together. Even though this costs more than the regular because of the vacuum metallized, I guess they still had a budget, so I guess this is what the best they work with. It also has a tertiary gold color in the wheels, this metallic painted gold wheels, which looks pretty fine, looks pretty swish for this gold car. Yeah, gold is not the only thing that was swapped out. It looks like there's a subtle inverse of his original reds for black. Like the black striping across here. And here on the side vents here, and also the black plastic rear here. The sides that are painted here to flow into the black painted plastic with the transparent red rear tail lights. As with the roof vents, red for black. And the front headlights that were just molded green. Yes, they were transparent molded green, painted for this Chinese version. They've just been color swapped for red. which it makes sense for the tail lights, but maybe look a little weird for the front lights. I don't know if the red lights still evoke some villainy type of vibes, like some sort of rich tycoon's luxury car. It first starts with the logo here in black outlines, and it's pretty unpainted here. Which I guess it does look fine even if this part wasn't painted black. So I guess the color palette swap really does give it a different vibe. The original Jetren colors kind of look like a black super spy car, while this golden one, special electrum coated plating armor for science fictionies. Transforming gold Jetren without getting the fingerprints on the shiny chrome as much as possible challenge. Yeah, normally if this was, not chrome, I would just get right into it, even with the shiny, scratchable plastic, but gonna be trying to be extra careful here. Grabbing by the plastic and the wheels. Grab it on the top and underside. Grab it by the foot. Soft ratchet shoulders. And back button automorph. These gold edition redecos aren't just simply paint as many pieces in gold as possible. There is a slight change of the color scheme as well. Well, for Jetren, I guess he mostly retains the same black and red colors, but in different shades. Besides the obvious gold, the other main color palette swap is the inverse of his inner limb colors, like the red kneecaps, the toes, the fists, the upper arms, that are yellow on the Chinese version for some reason. They have been inverted to black. They're all black here, there's black plastic pieces. And the black inner pieces, the forearms and the upper thighs, have been inverted for red. But not just any red, this sort of metallic sheened dark crimson burgundy color limbs really gives it a more royal feel than if it was just plain red. The torso also seems to have maintained its color layout with the original Jetren's torso. Yeah, the black is the same, the red is the same. All the places like the inner vents. It looks like the yellow has been swapped out for the gold plastic here and the metallic painted gold in the crotch area and such. It's just missing out on the silver painted in there. It's just been painted black there. It's just missing out on the silver. It's just painted black in here. It still has that Carbot symbol unpainted and really tucked away in there. I do kind of like the look of the metallic painted red paint and the metallic gold paint, but I guess in this instance it looks a little noticeably sloppy. That there's a big thick splotch here. And also on the streak across here, it's painted, but maybe not enough coats of paint were painted on it. And wouldn't you know, there's a tiny bit of metallic gold paint that fell off somewhere, and I have no idea where it fell off, but it doesn't look like there's a big chunk of it anywhere on the robot, so it's fine for the paint. The chrome has a lot less presence in here, like the outside of the cars of the shells, they've been mostly relocated to the top and the back of the car. But this piece that was all chromed, it was also at least chromed on the inside, so you do have a nice inner sheen of his arms there. And the legs, as I said, because of just how it's arranged, the chrome bits end up on the inside of the legs rather than the outside. That would arguably make it look more shinier and more armor-like. But as I said before, if that was the case, then the car mode would look not as cohesive, so trade-offs. Yeah, I guess, just half sheen is better than no sheen of chrome gold, I guess. If you take a look, you can see the gold plastic pieces that connect to the shiny chrome go. If you take a closer look, you can see the solid gold pieces that screw on and connect to the shiny chrome pieces. As right here, like this hinge that folds over and connects to the chrome piece, which attached to this piece, which is a solid plastic, unlike the original Jetren toy. Instead of smoky black trans-clear plastic, this is solid gold plastic with a black window painted on it. So that's something for you, at least a fully opaque full-sized Carbot toy. And the pretty blunt bladed staff, now cast in solid gold, looks a little more sophisticated than this thing in yellow. Toyetic yellow. And the main focal point is the shiny chrome Jetren head. As it's part of the hood, it's all shiny. And the silver faceplate has been painted black, and the hardly light piping head crest there, that was the transparent green, has also been switched for red. Which you can hardly make out in all the overwhelming gold anyway. There's a little bit of that metallic red and the painted black here at least. You know, the gold scraping and scratching and slightly peeling off to reveal the silver underneath is going to be inevitable, but it's going to be really noticeable with the head. As I said, right out of the box, it already came with this very noticeable scratch here, this little smudge here. I tried wiping it off. Nope. And there's a little bit of the paint already chipped off at the very point, the very vertex here. A little bit of black exposed, so be really careful with that head, and I'm also going to probably get a new head, which may or may not be as good as this head already. Replacement head might also get banged up by the time it gets here. But hey, at least it won't show up if you shine it at the right angle. As a straight redeco of a 6-year-old toy, the articulation's exactly the same, down to the really short and bicepless arms with the wrists curled in, so that's to make like a very good sword wrist. I really padded out my review talking about a shiny redeco of a pretty old but pretty good old Carbot toy. So I guess you would only get the gold version if you're really a type of collector who really likes the limited edition gold redecos of everything. I guess just for style points, look how slightly richer I am. And at least this was available at retail. This is not like some super limited edition prize thing or lucky draw. Only like 100 of these were made and you just have to be really lucky in the competition and nothing like that. No. For the time it was available, you could just simply buy this off the shelf, off the retailer store shelves. It has a unique deco so that it doesn't feel like just some sort of trophy version. It's like a slightly different shade for a different armor. And at least Jetren has an alt skin now alongside his season-made singles. So it does have that playability factor in spite of its really shiny chrome. But if you collect these and dread tarnishing up all the chrome gold, you'll probably just put this in a display shelf and almost never touch it. So I decided to get one and import it, which I might have done that a little too late because, of course, gold Jetren was already sold out by the time I decided to get one of these. So I paid a little bit more than the retail price, which was already a little bit more than the original version's retail price. Better late than never. On one hand, gold implies like a limited edition or just some special value to it, so I'm not sure if this thing will get reissued, especially as the other 4 big buckaroos are still available, I guess mostly due to the price. But on the other hand, it would be a pretty bold marketing move to feature this in even recent media and not have the product available in the short future, so Golden Jetren alone might get a reissue down the line. And then there's a question of why. Why now this many years later for a gold redeco subline? A couple of years later when other toy lines would just have it in the same wave or some sort of exclusive. I don't know, maybe they were waiting for the remaining bots that were heroic and epic looking, and I guess the non-transforming cruisers were their ideal pick. And all the Carbots between those seasons really didn't fit the heroic archetype build I think they were going for. Maybe except Artie, but no one else really. And how did they weave it into the story and it's not just toy-only redecos? I guess the Golden Force Power origins are also maybe inconsistent or only implied. It seems that it was just activated for the very first time when Unicruiser fell into gold dust on the moon. And that was the birth of the entire thing. But then Jetren fell into a volcano and I guess intense heat just gave him an upgrade or something. But then the others showed up with their gold powers already in them. And then the Golden Pentastorm, that's the classic form that they try to justify just by being a past form, which could imply he was like the first one to discover the golden power when it looks like the moon thing was the first instance. So does that mean Pentastorm was the very first Carbot to get the golden powers when we were led to believe that the moon incident was the first time they got the golden powers? Or maybe Pentastorm somehow developed the technology for the golden power for the Unicruiser to discover later, or maybe Unicruiser just went back in time and told Top Pentastorm how to do it, and then the others just unlocked it by their own ways, and then some of them had just different ways to unlock the golden powers, and then maybe some of the golden powers don't work for everyone in them. That's why there's only like 5 of them who have the golden powers. And how much of a power boost do they get for their golden forms anyway? The important thing is, old characters, new gold versions. Go buy them if you want. If for any reason the gold colors simply do not appeal to you, there's always the classic version. The old version is still available and reissued, either in this large size or the Chinese exclusive smaller size.